At the time, I was interested in Islam, and my father noticed this and told me one day that he wouldn't speak about Islam when we are together because he wanted me to learn from people of greater knowledge so that other people won't say, "Oh, he became Muslim just because he's 17 and does everything his father does." I agreed, and I started visiting the community every month and learned a lot about Islam. But at that time,
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching for. Thank you so much for clicking. So guys, I lost everything but I gained Islam. This is a German convert story. Let's watch.
my name is Yaha Schroeder. I am living now in Potsdam, Germany, and I want to share my experience with you as a Muslim in a non-Muslim country. As a convert to Islam, I think it's much easier to follow the religion than a born Muslim who has been raised up here. Almost all young-born Muslims I know want to become Germans. For them, Islam is only a tradition, and they think that they have to give up their Islam to be accepted by the Germans, despite the fact that the Germans won't accept them, even if they gave up their religion. I grew up in a little village. I lived with my mother and my stepfather in a huge house with a big garden and a big pool. And as a teenager, I lived a cool life. I had some friends whom I used to hang around with, do stupid things, and drink alcohol like every young German teen. The life of a Muslim in Germany is quite difficult than one would think, especially for me as a German Muslim, because when someone asks a German what they think about Islam, they would tell you something about Arabs. For them, it's like a mathematical operation. Islam equals Arabs. When I converted to Islam, I had to leave my family, and I moved to the community in Potsdam near Berlin. I left this huge house and all my material valuable stuff. When I lived with my mother and stepfather, I had everything. A big house, my own money, TV, PlayStation. I was never concerned about money, but I wasn't happy. I was searching for something else. When I was 16, I met the Muslim community in Potsdam through my biological father who became a Muslim in 2001. I used to visit my father once a month, and we used to attend the meetings of the community, which were held on Sundays. At the time, I was interested in Islam, and my father noticed this and told me one day that he wouldn't speak about Islam when we are together because he wanted me to learn from people of greater knowledge so that other people won't say, "Oh, he became Muslim just because he's 17 and does everything his father does." I agreed, and I started visiting the community every month and learned a lot about Islam. But at that time, something happened and changed my way of thinking. One Sunday, I went with the Muslim community swimming, and I broke my back twice by jumping in the pool, and I hit the ground with my head. I noticed when Allah wants something, the individual's life can be turned over in 1 second. My father brought me to the hospital and the doctor told me, "You have broken your back quite bad, and if you did one wrong movement, you'll become handicapped." This didn't help me much, but then just a few moments before they brought me to the operation room, one of my friends of the Muslims community told me something. "You are now in the hands of God. It's like a roller coaster. Now you are on the top. Enjoy the ride and just trust in God." This really helped me. The operation took 5 hours, and I woke up after 3 days. I couldn't move my right arm, but I was feeling like the happiest person on this earth. I told the doctor that I don't care about my right arm. I'm so happy that Allah has let me survive. The doctors have told me that I have to stay in the hospital for a few months. I stayed for only 2 weeks there because I was training very hard. One day, a doctor came and said, "Today, we will try to take one step on the staircase." The exercise that I did on my own 2 days before the doctor told me. Now, I can move my right arm again, and I was just 2 weeks there. Alhamdulillah. This accident changed a lot in my personality. I noticed when Allah wants something, the individual's life can be turned over in 1 second. So, I took life more serious and started thinking more about my life in Islam, but I was still living in this little village. I made a lot of dua to my classmates, and now I can even have a praying room, although I'm the only Muslim in my school. My wish to become Muslim became so strong that I had to leave my family. I left my stepfather, my mother, and the luxury lifestyle to go to Potsdam. I moved to my father's apartment, which is rather small, and I had to stay in the kitchen, But it was okay, because I had nothing. Just a few, very few clothes, school books, and some CDs. It must sound for you like I lost everything, but I am very happy.
This guy is a German and he has a German family. Like he said, he has a mom and a stepfather, and from there, his stepfather, I believe the father he was referring to as a stepfather was, I don't know if it was a stepfather, but he said his father was a Muslim, and the man didn't want to impose it on him. He said he should go to a Muslim community to learn, so he will know if it actually wants to be a Muslim, he will understand more about Islam. Then from there he took a step, and he went to the community, he learned a lot of things from there. And along the line he said he had an accident, and when he had an accident, it's as if everything crumbled. So today said that he was on wheelchair. It took weeks before he recovered. God gave him a second chance. So from there he decided to accept Islam, because he believed that, for that incident to have happened to him, that means God was actually calling onto him, and he was not really ready at that point in time. Maybe that's the reason why that situation had to come to him, and now he felt like he needs to be serious with God, and from there his life changed. That was a beautiful story. That was a very, very beautiful story. Wow. Let me know your thoughts. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.